Oh geez, I'm late for a semi-important recapping date. Sorry all, been busy with the talking and the recording lately. Let's get you all up to speed ASAP, and then I can GTFO. Here's October's edition of HellfireComms in 2015, what you may have missed. We did a bit of a variety month in October. It was kind of like what we did back in July, only with less 2D shoot-em-ups and platformers. The live playthrough of Splatoon kicked things off and featured the debut of a new comm trio, myself, Volk, and Flaming Claw. It was an okay run overall, but I clearly need to pay a bit more attention. Right now, I'm a kid. The viewing audience requires me, nay, demands that I be a squid, and so we move on, improving with every day, or some other motivational speech that actually makes sense. Following the Chronicles of Squidic, my pal Richie and I revived an old HFC playthrough and gave it a fresh coat of paint, some new footage, and completely new commentary. The LostWinds playthrough was reborn. It was rather peaceful, really. Peaceful to the point of being a good alternative to sleep medicine, though of course my voice is number one in that list. Regardless, it was nice to revisit an old friend, so to speak, and relive the charming story of Toku and Enril once more. As we mentioned in the playthrough itself, we're going to be redoing a few playthroughs starting in 2016. Stuff that was either unfinished or really needed a do-over. They'll be vastly outnumbered by games we haven't covered yet though, so don't worry about constantly seeing games we've already covered before on the channel. Next up was the 5th installment in the NES Mega Man franchise. Funnily enough, Mega Man 5. It's cool how these things work out sometimes. Not much to say here. It's Mega Man. It's the 5th one. While he is still a dick, the cycle spins on. We'll be covering the 6th and final NES Mega Man game in December, so stay tuned. Up next was another live playthrough, though this one was much more laid back than Splatoon. It's Octodad, Dadliest catch. My old friend Miri joined me for this one, and we had a great time overall. Considering we actually played through the game completely about 3 times before getting a good take, I'm sort of proud of myself for keeping it as fresh as it was in the end. A rare moment of ego, perhaps. Or maybe that's just confidence and or pride in one's work. It's hard to tell them apart sometimes. Lastly, Helldragon and I did a Halloween playthrough of 5 Days a Stranger, the first of Yahtzee's foray into the adventure game scene. THD was thoroughly spooked, and, God willing, I will drag him back next year for another haunted jaunt. And that covers it for the playthrough side of HFC in October, but what about the streams? Well, fear not, because our very own Volk is keeping things chugging along over on the HFC Livestream. He covered stuff like Super Mario Maker, a bit of Phantasy Star 4, some more Splatoon, and a wee bit of Smash Bros here and there. On top of this, he and Axel Ryman did some Halloween-themed games on the spooky day itself, like The Binding of Isaac and Resident Evil. Volk streams often, so be sure to follow the livestream to keep up to date. And that does it for HFC in the month of October. Now to... well, actually, you know what's happening in November already, but I'm terrible at sign-offs, and this is a recap video, so here I go! We've got 100% runs of both Banjo-Kazooie and Professor Layton and The Curious Village, and both of these feature myself, THD and Richie, and at the end of the month we've got a 3-part mini-series on Super Mario Maker. We hope you're enjoying the content we're putting out, and hope you will enjoy what's coming. Till next time folks, goodbye.